Hi everyone, it's Amy, and today we are covering the ever exciting autoresponders for your business. So, what is an autoresponder? If you've never heard this term before, then let's start with the very basics. An autoresponder is a pre-scheduled series of emails. So, a person automatically signs up for a list. They get email number 1 sent out, then number 2, then number 3, then number 4, then number 5. And it's basically taking people through a path. Now, this first video, we're going to simply cover autoresponders and their purposes and give you some samples for what they might look like. In a subsequent video, we'll talk a little bit about the different platforms that you could use because the more sophisticated your email marketing program, the more sophisticated your autoresponders can be. One of the reasons why you want to be using autoresponders is because it saves you so much time. If you remember, I've talked about this before, that the reason why we automate parts of our business is so that we have more time to spend with the people. If you are spending, if any area of your business, you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, and it's taking you a lot of time, then that is begging for you to automate it. It's asking you, please put me in an autoresponder. Please make a video of this and send it out in an autoresponder. Our goal is not to automate so that we don't have to spend time with people. That's not our goal at all. Our goal is to automate so that we can spend time with more people. Does that make sense? If you're not automated, you max out your load in a very small place. I remember when I very first got started in coaching and I was not automated in any way, shape, or form. And in the very beginning, 5 clients maxed me out. And then I grew that number to 10. Then I grew that number to about 15. Once I hit about 15, I was like, I got to automate, because the amount of communication flow and the amount of, oh, I forgot to send that person this document. Oh, I forgot to send that person this document. Oh, I just started to feel like I was dropping the ball on people, which was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to take really good care of my clients. So it does not replace the personal. Why do you think I'm stressing this point? Because this is some of the pushback that I get from clients is they don't want to automate because they want everything to be personal. And I'm telling you, automate so that it can be personal without you dropping the ball. That's all I'm saying. Keep it personal, keep the connection going, but stop dropping the ball on people and open up your pool so you can manage more new people coming through at a time. That's really what we're looking for. So let's look at a couple of the top most frequently used types of campaigns. So a client management campaign is one. That's where you're just managing clients who are kind of already in an existing pool. They've come in through some means or another. A lead nurture is a marketing funnel. So it's when you get a new lead, and now what are you going to do with them to get them ready to convert? The next is a sales funnel. That's where we've met somebody and now we're trying to drive them towards purchasing a program. The next one would be new team members. This one's particularly important for network marketers. You definitely need a new team member funnel or system, sequence. That's the word I'm searching for, sequence. That allows you to take every new enrollment in your downline and give them a certain set of emails from you. And then we've got program specific. So that's when they've enrolled for a certain program or they've enrolled on a certain track, that this is what they're interested. They've kind of stepped up and said, yes, I'm interested in this. So I'm going to show you a few different ideas for how this could work. Now I'm trying here to keep it general so that you're not hearing it going, oh, I don't need that for my business. I want you to hear every one of these and say, how do I need this for my business? And then if you need more help getting specific, we can cover that in your group calls. We can also cover that on the Q&A call. So I'm trying to keep this a little bit basic here. So let's look at a lead nurture sequence. So this is a marketing sequence. This is somebody signs up from social media. This is somebody signs up from a webinar, they met you at a speaking gig, they opted in for your freemium online, you were running a Facebook ad and they went and clicked on it. So now you've got a new lead. So new lead sequences, lead nurture sequences, they should be getting emails about every 24 to 48 hours. Now I'm going to share with you guys, this video right here is very different from the original one I made 2 years ago when I started creating the videos for this, because I have learned a lot. So in the beginning, I was really concerned about losing those new leads. And what I found was I created a very big list of unresponsive people. We want to shake out the ones that aren't interested. If somebody unsubscribes from our list, we say, thank you, God bless you, and who's next? I mean, really, we need people to unsubscribe. Otherwise, what happens is we have this unresponsive list that it's very hard to get them to be motivated to want to go and do everything. So over this last summer, I shook out probably 500 people from my list. And every time someone unsubscribed, I was like, whew, okay, there's a weight off my shoulders. Now I'm talking to the people who are more interested, and it caused all of my numbers to go up, my conversion to go up. We can have a more specific conversation with people who are interested. So is 24 to 48 hours of emails a lot? Yeah, it is. That is a lot. You're going to have unsubscribes. Anyone who's not interested in working with you and being in your funnel, they're going to jump ship and they're going to get out. And we are going to say, good luck, God bless you, thank you for spending time visiting us, and I hope you find what you need. But they're not our people. So I'm not saying that you need to, and choose your days, you guys. I don't email my people out on Sunday because it's not in harmony with my faith. Whereas I was just talking to somebody yesterday, he's like, oh, Sunday's my best day for emails. I'll promote on this day and this day. I'm like, great. If that works for your tribe, that's great. It's not going to work for my tribe because it's not in line with my core values to be doing business on Sundays. And at every 24 to 48 hours, you could maybe do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And maybe that's how you do it. Or maybe you feel like Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday are really good days for you. It's up to you how you want to space those out, which days you want to choose. So here's a number that I learned recently that was like eye-opening to me. All of a sudden I went, I get it. I totally get it. It takes 18 to 20 emails to convert a new lead into a sale of a $1,000 program. And so I've got all these clients who are like, I'm so frustrated with these people. I've got these leads and they're just not showing up, and just high levels of frustration. And I've been a little baffled by this because I'm like, I'm just willing to play the rules of the game. Like if I'll call them till I gotta call them. But what helped me to really click into place with this was when I actually learned this from my Facebook team that I hired. They're like, well, it's going to take you 18 to 20 emails to convert into a sale. So here's our 40-day marketing cycle. I was like, oh, that's why it's so hard to get people on the phone. Because when we follow up right after we get a new lead, they are not nurtured enough. Our team is calling on the phone with them. So email marketing is what's going to help your phone team to be more productive, and we'll be working on phone sales in Business Mastery 2. Now you can speed up the sales process, so it doesn't always have to take 40 days to close a new client. You can speed up the process through two things. One of them is through a webinar, and one of them is through your phone sales team. So my team has historically, we get a new lead and we start calling. And in the meantime calling, we send them a really short sequence of, they get one video a day for 4 or 5 days, and then they get an email once a week. When I learned this, I was like, oh, I see how to make this work better. What we do now is we actually put all of the leads into the nurture sequence. It is more aggressive. It's built around having 9 emails and then trying to get them onto a webinar. And those 9 emails come out every other day. And then what we do in addition to that is we then start to score our leads. And we see who are the people that are opening the majority of our leads, or of our emails. And we actually have a more sophisticated program. We use Infusionsoft, so we can pull that report. Isn't that awesome? We can pull a report that shows us everybody who has opened more than 50% of the emails. We can pull a report that shows us who's clicking the emails. We can show all of this different data that then helps us know now who do we really want to get on the phone with. And it has increased our phone sales like a lot. Our sets have gone up, our team is happier because it doesn't take quite so many dialing to get them on the phone. Now, here's why, again, this is reiterating the overall purpose. I'm not saying sell through autoresponders. I see a ton of people make that mistake in business. They're like, well, I set up an autoresponder, nobody's buying. I'm like, autoresponders don't sell. That is not what autoresponders do. Autoresponders nurture people and they get them ready to be sold to. And so I'm not taking, because remember, we're not taking the personal out. I'm not taking out my phone sales team. I'm not taking out that call that they get from some awful setter of my appointment, asking them how they're doing and if we can support them in their business. I'm not taking that out at all. All I'm doing is I'm building up the responsiveness so that now when we get on the phones, it works better. So that's a lead nurture sequence. This one requires patience. So if you think you're going to go do some awesome Facebook promo and set up your Facebook ads and then you're going to be converting people next week, that's not likely to happen. Now, I will say this, different lead sources have different times. So I just gave you a slower example, which is a lead that's generated online. Okay, this would be a prime example right here of leads that are generated online. Now let's talk about a lead nurture sequence that could happen faster. So live speaking gigs are my fastest converting leads. And what we do is we'll lead generate the day of the event, we'll sell the day of the event, we'll start following up on the phone right after. And while we're in the process of following up, we'll actually have them getting a series of emails that's free content that's mapped out strategically to make them be excited to call us back. But those are leads that we can start following up with on right away, and we convert really well and really quickly on those because they didn't meet us online. They met us in person. They got to see my face and shake my hand and say, hey, I like this girl. I want to work with her. So that's what a general lead nurture sequence looks like. I want you at this point to think about, okay, where am I generating leads from, and what is the most important nurture sequence? So for example, in my world, my most important sequence is my expert summit leads, because that's where the majority of our leads come from currently. That might not always be the case, but currently that's where the majority of our leads come from, and they're the ones that are the least connected to us because they met us as one of many experts. So I would work on that sequence for myself first. Whereas my live speaking gigs, I can just get on the phone and follow up with them. It doesn't matter as much that we have that nurture sequence. So I'm going to let that one wait till I get the first one in place. All right, let's move on here. Let's look at a new team member sequence. This one's really important as you bring in, if you're a network marketer and you're recruiting people, you're bringing them in, we really want to get them feeling at home on the team, and we really want to get them connected, and we want to get them moving. And so for this sequence, number one, email, I recommend that you introduce yourself and your mission and don't be boring. You guys, I want them to know what you stand for. I want them to know what the team is about. I want them to get a feel for your fire, your passion, your purpose in life. I mean, you have been blessed to be able to have people come into your space. Now, what are you going to do with that? I feel like that's such a great stewardship. And whether they are your next amazing business builder or not, they've been given to you, and you have the gift of being able to improve their life and make it better. So let's create an awesome sequence that fires them up and gets them motivated to do more in their life. So number one, your introduction. Do not be boring. Do not sound like everybody else. This is not your standard. Just wanted you to know I'm your upline. Welcome to the team. If there's anything I can do to support you, let me know. Our team calls happen on this day, and we've got this Facebook page. No. We're going to get to that information, but the first thing is I want you to rock their socks off with how awesome you are and how blessed you are to serve them and what is the difference you are making in the world. I want them to feel you in that first email. Number two, invite them to the next level. So now I would be inviting them. And whenever we're inviting to the next level, and again, you'll learn more about this in Business Mastery 2 when we're working on recruiting, an invitation to the next level is an open invitation, and it's an ongoing invitation. And it's an invitation that does not exclude them from choosing something different. So in that first email, you're not pressuring them, let's go be a business builder. Because most of these people don't even know if they want to be a business builder. They don't even know why they should be, and they're totally confused about your compensation plan anyway. So this is not a hardcore build a business. This is an invitation to do more with their life. This is an invitation to see what's possible for them, to see their options, what's available, what could they do if they dreamed big, and then an invitation to connect with you somewhere else. So that could be getting them on a call to do an orientation call with you. That could be scheduling a one-on-one, let's get you integrated. That could be scheduling them to come to your new consultant training. But invite them to the next level, and then give them a specific, here's your next step, come to this training. Get on this call, schedule your one-on-one, however you do that in your system. The next email, I would give them information on the back end and on communication. So this is where you're going to talk to them about, let's get you on, set you up on your auto ship. Here's how you log into the back office. Here's a video of how it works. And guess what? Here's where the team communicates. Click here and join us on the Facebook group. This is our weekly team call. So that's the kind of information you're going to give them there. The fourth one, I would give them some sort of a challenge and a reward. So we're so excited that you're here. Your challenge for today is I want you to actually log into your back office. I want you to go and type on the Facebook page saying, I'm here, so great to meet all of you. And then the last thing that I want you to do is I want you to send an email to your upline and say, I did it, and here's the prize that you're going to get. And it doesn't have to be like a prize that you mail out. It could even just be that they get listed as the fast-moving newbies in the group, and you list out once a week, you list out everybody who made that accomplishment, and you give them a public shout out and some public applause and praise. That should be a new hybrid word, right? Appraise, since it already has a meaning in the English language. Okay. So then the next one, you're going to give them a call to action to engage with the team. So this would be an invitation to jump on a team call. This would be an invitation to show up at a live training that you're doing. This is something to get them doing what the team is already doing. We want them doing what the team's already doing. And then we are going to talk about where do they want to go next. So this is building off of the conversation that we started in number 2. Now they've kind of got a feel for the team. They don't know everything. They still really don't. But this is kind of an invitation. At this point, offline, you should have already had some sort of a conversation with them about what do they want to do, what are their dreams, what are their goals, how can this business help fulfill that? Because that's what we're inviting them to do on level 2. It's like a one-on-one call or a new consultant training or a orientation call or webinar. So they've had that. Now we're asking them, what do you want to do? How can I support you? What path do you choose to run on? Do you want to use the products? Do you want to build in your start? Do you want to build an intentional business that can create massive revenue for you? So we're just asking them, what do they want to do? And then number 7, we're going to move them into the appropriate training program. Now at this point in the game, I'm going off of the fact that all of our network marketers have a training program that they're using. In the next phase, Business Mastery 2, we will actually look at, is your training program working? How can you make it more effective? What is it that you're doing? When do you need to branch off and create your own training program? When is it appropriate to use someone else's? So we'll go into that in Business Mastery 2. At this point, if you're sitting here going, Amy, I don't really have a training program per se, this is the time where you get on the phone and you talk to the amazing people in your business who are succeeding, and you say, hey, what are you using for your training program? How are you liking it? Is it working for you? Can I use it too? Can I plug my people in? And use something that's already existing. If you've got a program you've created that you love, great, roll with it. We'll work on making it better in Business Mastery too, but for right now, you just need something to fill that role. Okay, so that is your new team member sequence. If you are a traditional business owner, there's not really much that you need to do with this. You could put in a sequence for new hires just to kind of get them integrated in, and it could look pretty similar to this. You might need to make a few tweaks. Marketer, build this one out. This one's going to be a top priority for you, really top priority. Okay, next, let's do a sales sequence. So this sales sequence is built around somebody opting in for some sort of a freemium, and then you're trying to move them into purchasing a program. So the first email that you would do would be to welcome them to the freemium. You're going to provide a basic overview of what's going to come and promise some amazing content in the next email. So you're going to give them some seeds of what's coming, so that now they're like, oh, I really want that email. Then in email number 2, I recommend that you just give them some honest, powerful help for their problem. What is their problem? If they signed up for this freemium, they obviously had a problem. If they signed up for your top 10 clean eating recipes, they obviously have a problem with something with their feeling great, their immune system's low. There's some sort of a problem. So give them some honest, powerful info for their problem. Email number 3, send even more tips that are built off of email number 2. Email number 4, we're going to now take a new angle on their problem, and we're also going to offer a higher price deal in this one. Not because we're expecting everyone to buy it, but because what we're hoping will happen is then when we come in with our lower end offer, it created a reference point. So we use this when we're selling on stage as well, that early in the event, we're going to offer highest priced item, so that later they're going to feel really good about purchasing something lower, because everyone wants the highest one. And then when you offer something lower, they're like, sweet, I have the option to do that. Okay, so we are going to now, so number 4, we're going to look at their program problem from a new angle. Number 5, we're going to go more in depth on their core issues. So now we're digging in. What's the core problem? Number 6, we're going to give away our best secrets. Tell them that, registration is ending, that this freemium you've gotten, it's concluding, you're wrapping things up. And then number 7, you're going to conclude your content, and you're going to offer a lower price deal with a call to action to re-opt into another campaign or get in touch directly. So now this is where you're going to actually attempt to sell to them. Now that could be just getting them onto a webinar, and then the webinar is where you do the sale. It could be getting them on a one-on-one conversation, and that's where you do the sale. But remember, autoresponders do not sell. They simply nurture. This is getting someone ready to want to purchase your program. Okay, and also I'm going to include in a link from a blog post that I actually took this information from. So you'll have a link in there as a reference point. It's actually a really good blog post. I can't say that I endorse and agree with 100% of it. I do think this sequence they've built out is a really wise and really smart sequence. So if you want to check them out, you can. Okay. Next one, program specific. So this would be like someone signs up for a specific program of yours. The first thing that I would do is I would welcome them, but not just a welcome to the program, blah, blah, blah. You need to affirm the decision that they just made. It's a big decision to join a program. That's a big commitment. So we're going to actually say this was a great decision. Here's some of the benefits that you'll be experiencing over the course of the next XYZ months or weeks. And here's some of the things that I think you'll be really excited about, and give them some details. But this is really to wrap them in our arms and say, you are in the right place. This is exactly where you should be. Because think about it, doubt settles in. You make a big commitment, and in that moment, you're like, I believe in myself, I can do this. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, what did I spend? And what did I sign up for? And how am I going to do this? And so we're just going to affirm this is the right place to be. Next thing, number 2, we are going to ask a question to pique interest and engagement. So we're going to ask them something like, would you share with us what are you most hoping to learn? What are some of your dreams and goals? And get them to just engage with you and start playing. We're going to be in a program, we're going to be giving them a lot of to-dos, you know, do this, do this, do this. And so we want to get them started responding to us and doing what we ask. Number 3, you're going to give them a call to action, which will be a small task. So it could be like, go ahead and add us on Facebook and just type on the wall, type in the group, I'm so excited to be here, here's who I am, here's my business. Some small task. Email number 4, we're going to give them the materials that they need. This is also a mistake that I have made in the past. I have really played around with where to send their materials. If I send it too soon, like, hey, you signed up, here's all your materials, they get very overwhelmed. And if I send it too late, they're confused when they start the program. So I actually need time, and I put that right in the middle now. I need time to get them their materials and then time to let them get used to the materials before they start. It's not perfect, especially in my system where they could, if they sign up a week before, this is not a perfect system. This is a perfect system if they sign up a few weeks before. But 1 week before, we have issues. And people who sign up 1 week before, you guys be prepared, they oftentimes start the program with confusion. If they sign up right before, there's just, it was fast. And so you need to plan extra support after they sign up so that you can get them through the confusion. Like, we plan some one-on-one calls. I'll have the coach reach out to the group. I'll have them do some extra things. And the more people that you had sign up right before, the higher that level of confusion. So just be prepared for it. Okay, so we do send the materials. Then the next thing we do is we answer common questions. So frequently asked questions. Here's some things you might be wondering about right now. And then we'll just go through and answer those. Sometimes it's good to do those in video. And then number 6, build something that's going to build excitement for the program launch. Number 7 is just reminding them, hey, you've got your meeting today, and that can just go on throughout the course of the program. Okay, so the only one that we didn't cover is your client management. So that one's going to really depend on what your business is. Who are these clients, and what is it that they need? So, for example, let's say you're an e-commerce website. Well, your client management might be that you send out once a month you send out style tips. Once a month you send out any sales or deals or clearance items. Once a month you send out a video that shows you accessorizing all of your new clothes with whatever cool accessories you just got in. And maybe you send out also another one that is a coupon that's like, hey, come over and you get 30% off of earrings today. And so it's going to be really different if you're like an e-commerce person, just managing the people who are in your database, keeping them engaged with you, versus if you are like for me, my client management emails are almost the exact same as my program specific. They are pretty darn similar because that's what my clients do, is they do programs. If you were a massage therapist, your client management might be like they get, tips for relaxation. They get superfoods that cleanse the body. They get here's some yoga stretches that you can do. They're just getting some content, and then, hey, schedule your next 3 sessions and you'll get your 4th one half price. Things like that. So that one I didn't put in because it's just so different depending on your business. Okay, these are autoresponders. Here's what I want you to do, and here's your homework. You are going to choose your top 3 autoresponders that need to be written. So top 3 autoresponders to write. You write out 1, you write out 2, you write out 3. Now, 1, I actually want you to write this week. I want you to write it out. I want you to share it with us on the Facebook page. I want you to get some feedback. And 2, if you have time, I would love for you to write number 2 as well. Cool. So it might not happen this week, but schedule it out. When are you going to write that so it doesn't end up just getting tossed aside and you don't circle back around and do it. Here is what I'm going to really recommend. Just like our tips for efficient writing in our previous week, we need to apply that here as well. Same exact strategies that you used before, you're going to put in this so that way you can write efficiently, you can get it done. Your autoresponders should take you a few hours to write out each campaign. If you are taking longer than that, you are overcomplicating, you have writer's block, you are distracted doing other things, or you need to get on a Q&A call and ask for some help, okay? Because it should take you a couple hours for each video. All right, that is your training on how to write your autoresponder. Stay tuned for some tips on which program is best for you.